Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to Energy First Golf. Today in this video, we're going to talk about external reference point and what is the meaning of it and how come most people don't talk about that. Well, the truth is external reference points really what I call the external mechanics. We all know right now, if you watch this channel, we never talked about shoulder turn, okay? And also, the truth is you would never hear me say point your sternum to the ball or have a reference point of sternum. That's a reference point, which is external golf mechanics, which we don't talk about. But today I want to clarify why they call it a external reference point. And if you're working on them, if you're thinking about working on them, and then you will create bad habits. All right. So say right now I'm going to stand like this. When I'm standing like this, I'm in the 2D zone, which is X and Y. So I have a stick right now. All right. So if I turn my body right now, you can see this end of this with grip. And when I turn back, this and that is making an exchange. Okay. So while you try to make it exchange, if I'm saying to you right now, I'm focusing on external or reference point. If I'm focused on my shoulders, I would do something like this. And as you can see right now, my body is actually rocking back and forth. I know a lot of you say, well, I'm not going to do that. And the truth is, when you are thinking about reference point, like your shoulders, when you playing golf, you will move your head. Because again, those are not turning mechanics. That's the reason why we call the reference point. Now, obviously, if I'm turning right now from my center, if I'm turning in from center right now, right, I'm turning like this and I'm turning like this, my head isn't moving that much. But I know my shoulders, their reference point. Here to there, there's an exchange, right? So that's exactly why I say that when you're learning golf, you already know the reference point is really mere a following a mechanical movement. What is the mechanical movement, those reference point? You guessed it. Is your chord motion. If you're turning your chord, your reference point is going to, quote unquote, have a position that you say, oh, I recognize those positions. Right? So in other words, right now, if I go to here, I'm in a golf posture. If I do a swing right now, this 2 point is going to make it exchange.
Hey golfers, thank you for watching our channel. Please remember to click like and subscribe to our channel. FO Golf now have our own golf gloves and belts. We'll also have merchandise such as hats and shirts in the future. We offer digital service for all golfers in the world. I will do swing analysis and special videos catered just to your needs. If you're interested in learning golf remotely from me and also our merchandises, please contact us. One of our members from our team will reach out to you. So thank you. Please enjoy the rest of the video.
But I know they're going to make an exchange not because I'm thinking about them making an exchange, because they're only reference point. I know if I'm turning my core, the reference point will do what it does, do something that's correct. But if I'm focusing on using the reference point, which is turning shoulders, and then you're creating problems because that's not the mechanical movement. That's just reference point. So same thing if I'm going to my sternum, if I focus on turning my sternum, chance are I really can. But if I'm doing this right now, if I'm thinking turning my sternum, that's an external reference point. So I would say why don't you focus on your core rotation instead of your external reference point? Because as crazy as it sounds, when you're learning golf, golf is such a hard sport. The movement of the golf swing is really a foreign body language for adults. So you gotta have correct mechanical movement, and knowing those reference points as simply following a correct mechanical movement not because you're moving those reference points. But if you're moving those reference points, chances are you move them incorrectly. Okay? So that to me is something I don't ever understand how nobody in the mainstream golf instruction talk about. If they talk about turning shoulders, and if they talk about make sure you point your sternum to the ball, chances are you will do a lot of what I call the push and pulling movement, because your upper torso, the muscles in your upper torso can only do what? Push and pull. It's not a pure rotation. So if you're thinking about the reference point, chances are if I'm thinking about the reference point, my head is going to move. But if I'm thinking about where it's turning and knowing those reference point is going to do the correct thing, then I'm happy and I'm confident, okay, now they are making an exchange that's correct, which we know they have to, right? Because if you're here, there's exchange, right? If you're here, there's exchange. But you cannot do it from the reference point. So basically, here's something about, if I point this, my arms, the finger to an object, say, hey, go look at that object right there. You will obviously go from my finger to the object. But guess what's pointing at the fingers? What's moving the fingers? It's my arms and my body when I point like that. So this is a reference point. So I'm not going to focus on that. I have to focus on what's pointing the reference point. I'm using my arms and my body to do that. But of course, from someone outside see it, they will only see the fingers. So that's exactly the reason why the tour players, of course, you got people watch Golf Channel, watching golf tournament, the commentators. All that they are going to talk about is reference point, which is what I call the external mechanics. That's all they're going to talk about, because that's what you see, and that's what they're going to talk about. The reference point. Not how do I get there? How do my finger get there? All the muscles in my arms. That was just a very simple example of what I mean by reference point. So again, energy first, impact later. You're working on your internal rotational movement from your big muscles. Okay? The reason why I do this video, because a lot of people always ask me what I mean by external mechanics, and why sometimes people say turn your shoulders. You hear this all the time, and then sternum, and I just put them together because the sternum and the shoulders, they're all what I call the reference point, which is external mechanics. Now obviously the arms also, from a golf swing perspective. Earlier I was just doing an example of a 2D movement. This is a 2D movement. Alright, so thank you for watching this video. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment and click like to subscribe to our channel by clicking on this button right here. And we have 2 recommended video if you want to know more about energy first, impact later. And I will see you next time.